Shortly after Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods was released in 2013, Toriyama did an interview where he was asked if Goku would be able to transform into God in the future. And Toriyama responds back by saying that if you watch the movie, Goku already absorbed Super Saiyan God's power and made it his own, so there is no need for him to transform into God in the future. Obviously, at the time, I feel like Toriyama did mean this, but over time, we found out that was not the case because Goku did indeed use Super Saiyan God in the future. But at the time, it would make sense that we would never see the Super Saiyan God form again. Instead, with the follow-up to Battle of Gods, which would be Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F in 2015, we saw Goku tap into a new power, which would be at the time known as Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan Blue. So us never seeing Super Saiyan God ever again was a possibility. However, in its place, we were given a very mysterious power-up that not a lot of people have talked about, and that is Saiyan Beyond God. And on this edition of the Transformation Guide, we're going to delve into the Saiyan Beyond God state of being, what it is, where it came from, the information that I've gathered from it, and everything in between. First of all, I want to say that Saiyan Beyond God is a thing. It's not just some fan-made-up BS. No, this actually exists and was talked about in the official Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F movie pamphlet that they gave to viewers of the movie in 2015 when they went to the theater to go watch it. So if you were one of the lucky ones that got to see it in Japan, you may have one of these, and it discusses Saiyan Beyond God in that pamphlet. In order to understand Saiyan Beyond God, we have to go back to the end of Battle of Gods, where we find out that as Goku was fighting Beerus in the Super Saiyan God form, he loses his ability to maintain the form, but somehow his God power was imprinted onto his body, and his mind and body were able to remember how to use it properly. So basically, Goku got a piece of his God ki infused inside of him, pretty much permanently, and then from there it would take some training, which we did not see at the time on screen. It wasn't until Dragon Ball Super gave us those filler episodes in between Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, which would be Dragon Ball Super episodes 15 through 18, that we got to see Goku and Vegeta learning more about God Ki, learning how to tap into God Ki at will, and what it took to get there. And this is what Saiyan Beyond God pretty much became. We did not really see Saiyan Beyond God in battle until Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, when Goku fights Frieza. And if you remember in the movie, Frieza is wondering why Goku's not transforming into a Super Saiyan. And Goku remarks that he really does not need to do it, which of course would be him hiding the fact that he had a stronger form, which was of course Super Saiyan Blue. But at the time, he chose to fight Frieza hand to hand with just his base form. But was it really his base form? The answer is not exactly. Technically, Saiyan Beyond God is not an actual transformation. I'm still going to be putting it in this series, mostly because of the fact that it still fits in with the chronology of Goku and Vegeta's ascension into their knowledge of God energy. So I think it's important to include. Plus, in some ways, it could be seen as a transformation. But really what it is it's sort of a state of being. It's Goku and Vegeta being able to tap into and pull from their God Ki reserves without actually transforming into Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue. That's what it is. Some folks have gone on to call it the new base form, and that makes sense. I mean, it really does make sense, but not entirely. Whis explains in Dragon Ball Super about how they have to learn how to contain the God energy inside of them. That is the secret of God Ki. So it's not like Goku and Vegeta always have God Ki activated 24 hours a day. So that's why I'm saying it could be a transformation, because they have to actually activate this power, with their mind and body and spirit. But unlike Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, it does not change Goku and Vegeta's physical appearance. They retain their black hair. There's no real extra spikiness to it or any kind of physical change, with the exception of maybe this kind of bright, white, divine looking energy that surrounds them. And while Goku and Frieza are fighting for the first part of the fight, before Frieza goes into Golden Frieza and before Goku taps into Blue, they're using basically Saiyan Beyond God. So to clarify, Goku is able to access God Ki and Vegeta in battle without fully transforming into a different form. So they are able to pull God Ki from the inside, from their internal spirit, but they're not fully transforming, so they can kind of gauge how much God Ki they want to use before kind of going all out with God, and then later on Blue, and so on and so forth. It allows for more control in battle. And from that point of view, when they are already tapping into Saiyan Beyond God, when they transform into a Super Saiyan from that form, that's when you get Super Saiyan Blue, aka Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. It's kind of like the God base form. So a lot of folks have said in the past, and I kind of get tired of hearing it, that they should have called Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan God, which I hate that because, again, you can't go back in time. Battle of Gods was written first. It was called Super Saiyan God first. You can't just change stuff. But also Super Saiyan God is a transformation, an actual physical transformation, whereas Saiyan Beyond God is what you would call a Saiyan God with no transformation. The first time that we saw an implication of how this worked was actually in Toyotaro's Resurrection F promotional manga that was coming out before the film. There's a panel, a pretty famous one, where we have Goku training with Vegeta, and as he's attacking, you see in the background an image of what was Super Saiyan God, sort of like a symbolic image of Goku tapping into God Ki without actually turning into Super Saiyan God. That's what's going on here. There has been some discussion that the Dragon Ball Super anime somewhat changed this because some have said that in the Dragon Ball Super anime, using Saiyan Beyond God in the Resurrection F arc, which I can't stand because Toei Animation took liberties with the story and changed a bunch of stuff around, and it's kind of annoying. But in the anime, they say that when they use Saiyan Beyond God, it's not them actually using God Ki, but more so elevating their regular Ki to God-like levels. And that never made any sense to me. I'm sorry, but it makes no sense. That's more of that Toei Animation nonsense that just annoys me. To me, the definition of what Saiyan Beyond God is based on the Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F movie and movie pamphlet makes the most sense. So check it out. Even though Goku and Vegeta are stronger in Resurrection F than they were in Battle of Gods, obviously, Goku Saiyan Beyond God may not be as strong as the full-out Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue, but Saiyan Beyond God is still more powerful than the older Super Saiyan forms, like Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. It's just that with Saiyan Beyond God, Goku can choose how much energy he puts into it without fully transforming, like I said earlier. So there's benefits to it. There's stamina influxes and things like that that are better controlled. And even though Saiyan Beyond God was briefly used in the future, it's just hard to tell because, you know, Dragon Ball Super moves so quickly, you can't really tell when he's using it. We know for certain that the most, or at least the biggest time it was ever spotlighted was in Resurrection F because Goku battles Frieza in his fourth form in what looks to be Goku's base form, which would have been impossible on Namek, but he's able to do it here, and it's because of the power of Saiyan Beyond God. And remember, Frieza trained. This is a different Frieza, so Frieza's fourth form in Resurrection F one-shotted Gohan and did other crazy feats that surpass other Dragon Ball Z villains. So this is a different level of Frieza and a different level of Goku, but you may not have been able to tell that right away because they kind of look like they did, you know, pretty much their whole life, right? It has never really been proven, but there is fan speculation that Goku Black also has this power. However, it's tough to say because Goku Black does power up with this weird sort of purple evil energy, and some have said it's like his polluted version of Saiyan Beyond God before hitting Rose, but that's never actually been proven. So all we can do is guess that maybe it was that. Either way, the form after Saiyan Beyond God is, of course, Super Saiyan Blue, which will be the topic of discussion for the next transformation guide. Thanks for watching this one. I hope you learned something about Saiyan Beyond God, and check out these videos.